E aí, meu povo, bem-vindo de volta a Tales of Vesperia. Estamos aqui em Gangrash, covil das guildas.
The atmosphere is kind of strange.
Yeah, the Union is falling apart.
Because nobody wants to step in to take the Don's place. And the Don's heir ain't quite up to it. Come on, don't hang back now.
I was the one who led Grandpa to his death. Someone like me could never become a man like the Don was.
Nobody's saying you gotta become a man like the Don was. We're just saying you should at least show up to the succession meetings.
Hey, do you have the Don's apatheia? We'd appreciate it if you could give it to us.
Wow, that was quite a fastball, Rita.
That apatheia belongs to whoever succeeds the Don. It's not given to outsiders.
What? Well, when will they choose a successor?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
Well then, who should we ask?
That boy's a real piece of work. Who's gonna protect the city if the Union isn't?
What? That would be our guild, of course.
Talking of whose guild? I know that you sent in your Clouds of Dawn members to Zod.
The Union has never been outstripped by the Empire. We cannot sit here and risk falling behind.
I say it was imprudent. It could have been taken as the Union's hostile act against the Empire.
In that case, we would defend our honor on the battlefield.
And who will be leading the battle? The Clouds of Dawn? If the Dawn got wind of that, he'd burst out laughing.
So why don't you boys in Altos throw your hat in the ring? Maybe then we'd see just how unpopular you really are.
This is ridiculous. Continue as you please till the world comes to an end. But don't bring up a war between the guilds. This isn't a joke.
Hey, I've got a great idea. Let's just set a bit of driftwood in the Dawn's chair. A hard existence being worn down by the waves lends it the exact same air of dignity.
My, how ingenious.
Yeah, you just keep talking.
It's all right to be helped by your friends. Protect your friends and they'll respond in kind. That was the last thing that the Dawn said to me.
Carol.
What? Who's this kid?
I can't do anything by myself, but I have my friends. Because my friends are there for me, I can do anything. They're still there for me, even now. Why isn't that good enough for the Union?
The boy is right. The best thing that the guilds ever had was their ability to help each other. There is always a way to deal with things, even if you aren't some great big leader.
The Don told you that from now on, you have to walk with your own feet. You know how to walk on your own feet, don't you?
You make it sound so easy, but actually...
Let's go. I'm gonna get sick if I have to stay here any longer.
Hey, you, wait up!
Tá brabo o negócio.
What about the apatheia?
If you got enough spare time to be hanging around those idiots, you'd be...
Another plan? It's not that easy.
You'll be able to come up with something if you just don't sleep for 3 days.
Why is it on me?
Here.
Are you giving this to us?
No, this is going to be stolen.
What do you mean?
I owe you one.
Get a move on before the others realize it's gone.
To what do we owe this generosity?
I don't know. Maybe it just left a bad feeling in my stomach to get lectured by a kid like that.
Maybe there's some hope for that boy after all.
Guri sorrindo.
So, now that we've gotten the apatheia, what's next? Next up, we're going to the Zofair Rift.
De novo.
I'm going to use the unactivated air crene that's there.
The rift! We're going someplace cold again? Mind if old Raven waits here?
You'd rather be cold than have the world be destroyed, wouldn't you? Let's go.
Feia, cristal ciel-ciano, pedaço de ar de alta densidade transformado de pelos. O que se sabe sobre ele?
I'm so glad Yuri's okay.
Are you kidding? The Atafagos, the whole world going nuts? There's no way that kid would miss this.
You weren't worried, Raven?
Maybe just a little. But guys like him keep getting up, no matter what happens, so nah, I wasn't too worried.
You really believe in Yuri, don't you, Raven?
Aw, you're gonna make this old man blush.
Vamos sair dessa jossa aqui. Peraí, deixa eu ver uma coisa aqui em habilidades. Não tem especial. Nesse eu não subi as coisas dela. Tem um monte. Só 3. Ah, tá aqui. Bastante feito com cuidado. Repeat, que o repeat faz aqui? Já tem um especial. Oxi. Aqui. Capria. Quando elas conseguirem subir o nível desse diabinho, vão poder usar as artes místicas delas. Eles, no caso. Se bem que eu só tô com... só com as mulheres. Beleza, lembra lá... Vai cá. Cara, isso é muito legal, até doido. Rapidinho, enchendo no local. Aí tá errado. Pra onde que tem que ir? E ali tá o cringear. Será que é bem aqui? Não. Pô, aquele ali é novo. Opa, falando nisso. Vou salvar.
Yuri, that art you did back there was awesome!
Sure was. I bet most enemies couldn't stay standing after getting hit with that.
Yuri?
To know in an instant how I need to move was the first time I've ever felt that.
Whoa! It was really cool, Yuri!
You've done some growing, Yuri. You sure are something.
Como que eu cheguei nesse infeliz? Essa volta miserável. Eu volto pro mundo.
Try soul shine. Photon.
Come back and try again.
Tem como ir pro outro lado.
I suppose I could try.
Was I a little hard on you?
Doesn't all that fighting ever make you tired, Yuri?
Nah, I've got you here to heal me if I get hurt after all.
But getting hurt and getting tired are different. Don't you ever run out of energy?
I'd say swinging my sword gives me more energy rather than taking it away.
You're like an over-energetic kid who runs around until he passes out.
Of course, I've got more energy than a kid, so I can make that much more mischief.
Ah, youth. I'm out of breath with just one swing. I wish I could go back to my younger days.
Talk about pathetic.
Don't worry. Won't be long before you're in the same boat as me, kid.
I don't think that's too funny, old man.
Well, until then, you can just sit and suffer in admiration of my youthful energy.
That's the first time I've ever heard of someone suffering in admiration.
Engraçado que aqui eu não posso usar o baú. Oha!
From behind? Oh, man.
Our ties to each other will save us.
And another!
The flickering blaze burn. Fireball.
How feeble looking.
Don't get careless.
Fall for this pure light.
Victory? Bullseye! Wait, we did it!
Primeira vez que eu vejo elas fazendo essa comemoração, as duas juntas.
I suppose I could try.
The sign of victory!
Tá tão forte que às vezes nem precisa usar a arte.
Keep your eyes on my sword. Yeah!
Deixa eu só ver qual botão mesmo que dá o zoom. Ah, é direcionar pra cima. E pra sair é direcionar pra baixo.
I suppose I could try.
Dragon wasn't too bad.
It seems that the Union is still in disarray.
They relied on the Dawn for too much. They're probably scared without the guy who used to decide everything for them.
I think I know how they feel. Constantly worrying whether or not you're about to make some big mistake.
Well, I can't understand being so afraid of messing up that you can't decide anything.
Wow, I agree with you for once.
The Union has to do a lot of thinking for themselves now that they're without the Dawn.
Isn't that how it should be?
Absolutely.
Oh, it's cold, cold, cold.
So, what are you gonna do with the air crane?
I'm going to use the energy to make an air converter.
An air converter?
My plan is to efficiently convert the air into matter, decreasing the overall amount of air. But for that, it's ideal to have the converter use energy similar to both air and matter.
How is that energy different from air?
Elementally separated air transitions into matter in stages and eventually becomes stable. I'm going to stop its transition between the two states and develop a converter formula.
So it won't be air or matter?
It's a state that's closer to matter than to air, but it's still not quite matter. We call it mana.
Mana.
To think that one short utterance could hold more gravity than the light used to lure fish out of the frigid sea at night.
It actually has a really long, complicated name, but mana's good enough. But it'll still be less stable than actual matter, so we'll need something to act as a core.
The Apatheia.
And a lot of air and Estelle's power to recombine the formula.
Using my power without the control formula will unbalance the air. It'll just flood out again.
But we can't just sit here and ignore that thing. And...
Yeah?
it's a bet I'm willing to take.
I guess I should be the one trying to stop you, but I'm game to get in on this bet too.
I'll wager $1 billion gold on that.
The theory is correct. It'll be okay. I'll return this $1 billion gold to you many times over.
Oh, truly now?
Yep. Come on, let's head to the air crane.
It's freezing. Think there's a cabin or something where we can get out of the cold?
I don't think anyone would build a cabin on top of a sheet of ice.
If we just had some fire. Oh yeah, Rita, use your magic to give us some fire, would you?
What am I, a walking matchbox? And besides, using it on you would be a waste of air.
What's the big deal? Weren't you just using it over and over again just a little while ago?
That was to defeat enemies. What would you want me to set on fire anyway? You've got a pretty muscular body.
Huh? Well, I mean, with the guilds and the knights and all, it's a lot of work.
Doesn't look like there's enough fat to burn very well.
That's too bad.
Huh? Hey!
Pra chegar nele tem que dar uma volta monstro. Mas que porcaria.
We got a head start.
It doesn't seem fair.
That wasn't too bad.
We should really enjoy these little times together.
tell you, thinking of a converter for air. You're quite the thinker. That's our genius mage girl Rita. Yep.
Well, I had a hint to go off of.
Come to think of it, you did say you'd investigated Zod, didn't you?
Despite its amazing size, it wasn't running off of air. Even though it was a barrier blastia to protect the entire world.
A barrier blastia? Oh yeah, they were protecting the world from the Autophagos.
You mean to say it's been there for a millennium? It's as dogged as a philosophizing anemone.
Same goes for the Autophagos. It's been clinging to that barrier for just as long.
Alexei seemed to believe Zod was a weapon, but he couldn't have been more mistaken.
But the runaway air was the cause for the Autophagos' awakening, wasn't it? Ah, so that's why they would use a barrier running on power other than air.
But then, what sort of power was it using?
The children of the full moon, perhaps?
It was actually energy taken straight from them. Inside that giant core, it continued to power Zod as a virtually perpetual formula. Most likely, the energy was taken in exchange for their lives.
The light of life was extinguished from the children of the full moon.
So that's what Miorso's legend meant.
According to Duke, they did it of their own free will. They wanted to save the world.
The love the children of the full moon bore for this world is what created the barrier.
The power of love. Makes you want to cry.
They sacrificed themselves for the world. The children of the full moon were protecting us the entire time.
Caramba.
Why did Yuri fall at Zod anyway?
The core was falling, so I couldn't see very well. Did he slip?
Dear, what a clumsy lad.
He wouldn't be able to do much about Alexei.
It was pretty hot, so maybe he just wanted to take a refreshing dip.
Returning to the embrace of Mother Ocean? That's not like the boy at all.
Still, imagining it makes me want to crack up a bit.
Sabendo que foi a... Como é? Soria, sei lá o nome dela. Esfaqueou, coitado.
Let's have a good time!
Oh, angelic princess praises your magnificent guidance.
Alright, who's next?
Come, oh silver light. Oh, divine spear, run mine enemy through. The sign of victory.
Yeah!
Olha lá, bichão.
Man, could you be any weaker?
Guess I'll...
21.000, não é tão forte. Doido, peixe. Tá doido. Que combo.
The sign of victory. Focus on the enemy in front.
Yeah!
Mudou de local. Save. mais lá no fundo.
That monster's not gonna show up again, right?
If it does, you'll beat it up for us just like the last time, right?
You're mean.
Okay, I'm ready. Estelle, come over here. Now, I'll release the control formula. Once I do that, the air crene will react to you and produce more air. I want you to recompose the air formula into a stable formula closer to mana.
I don't understand.
Yeah. Okay. The water element is strong here, so imagine flowing water and let your body flow with the air. The theory behind materializing air is the same as performing magic. If Estelle can recompose the air into a state close to mana, then I should be able to guide the air into the cyanociel.
Can we do anything?
No. Go take a nap or something.
We'd freeze to death if we took a nap here.
We're pretty handy, you know. We can cook or fish or anything you want. Just tell us what to do.
I wouldn't say anything. We can use the conversion formula we found in Zaude.
That was for substituting life for air. Your life! You can't do that!
But if this fails, then we'll all be swallowed up by a flood of air. We'll be dead anyway, right?
We're all risking our lives. Let us help.
All right, I'll use your life energy to guide the air into the cyanociel. If we do that, I think Estelle will understand the flow of the air without interference from me.
All right, everyone. Let's do this.
Sure. Why not?
Ready, Estelle? Here we go. Everyone, come over here.
Go ahead.
Try and synchronize yourself with my formula. There, that's good.
Eita. Ar conduzido por Rita fluirá da esquerda para a direita, na linha superior em cores. Pressione o A, B, X ou Y correspondente à cor do ar na hora certa, quando se sobrepuser ao campo de força de Estela, representado pela marcação azul, para reconstituir. Se o botão não for pressionado na hora certa, o ar vazará, então cuidado. A barra à direita representa a quantidade de mana coletada. Colete a quantidade especificada para finalizar o jogo. Vixe. Ah, o joguinho aí. De novo. Cor do botão. Bicho.
In the cyanociel. The formula is working. The force field is stable. It's gonna be okay.
What happened?
Did it not work?
No, it's still under control, but what is this? Formula for reshaping the apatheia. It's reformulating itself.
Quem és tu, criatura?
voice. Bellius?
Judith? Yes, it is I, Bellius. Or rather, I was once Bellius, but no more.
What's going on here?
Could the will of Bellius trapped in the apatheia have... Amazing.
I feel the waters of the world at my command. I am the ruler of the waters.
Okay, so did it work?
It's gone way beyond working. I never thought it would gain a will of its own.
Nature's mysteries will forever transcend the limited scope of our imagination.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on this one.
Humans? What creature am I? Though no longer Bellius the Intellicaea, you have granted life to me. I ask that you give me a name.
A being that controls the essence of a material. Maybe you're a spirit.
And so my name shall be...
The Splishy Splashy Watercolored Queen!
An ancient word for the ruler of the waters. How about Ondine?
Ondine. Henceforth, I shall be known as the spirit Ondine. Ah, I feel the power swell within me. Such is the benefit of the air which you saw fit to gather for me.
It wasn't any cakewalk either.
Receive this now as token of my thanks.
Vixe. Três armas. Pedra da lua.
Ondini, we need to get the world's air under control. Please lend us your power.
Very well. However, my powers alone will be insufficient.
Huh?
I control only the waters. You must gather those who rule the other elements as well.
The elements of earth, water, wind, and fire. We need at least 3 more.
We'll need help from the other Entelikeia, won't we?
Aye.
There are very few Intellicaea left. Pharaoh, Gusios.
And Baul.
Not Baul. He hasn't taken in enough air to create an apatheia. And on top of that, I won't allow it.
Undine, do you have any ideas?
The shining forest of Arialumen and Relavise, the root of the world. Your friend Baul should know the location of these places.
She disappeared.
Não brinca.
No, she is here. I feel her.
Mas desapareceu esse meio.
It seems like the air crenna has quieted down too. Even though we're not controlling Estelle's power.
Really? So, Ondine is controlling Estelle's power?
You mean Estelle is really free?
Yes. Yes!
That's great, Estelle.
Well, things are sure taking a turn for the strange.
Yeah, I never would have dreamed any of this would happen. But we finally see the light at the end.
It's a pinprick, but as welcome as the rays of sun that pierce into the ocean's depths.
Uhul, parabéns, Rita. Agora, a caçadora de espíritos. O bagulho foi louco, meu irmão. Tanto não louco que eu vou parar bem por aqui. Então é isso, meu povo. A gente se vê em breve com mais Tales of Vesperia.